Friendship, shalom, and greetings to you all. Now, did you have a nice Easter? Now, I figured with all the issues that I never knew about cartoons before, I always just thought they were funny, but now I do know better. Maybe the Easter Bunny should have been canceled too. Now, I didn't have a reason other than it has nothing to do with the religious import of the holiday, and it encourages poor dental hygiene and bad nutrition. And then the millions of chocolate and marshmallow bunnies and sugary and cream-filled eggs and other horribly delicious sugary garbage would not wreak havoc with the health of today's youth. Obesity and diabetes are real problems, my friends. If only the normal world of commerce was still accessible, I could have scooped up sale after sale on a never-ending Halloween adventure binge. Now, for every holiday, non-Jewish ones in particular, there are bad, meaning delicious, horrible foods to eat. Other than maybe the chocolate gelt for Hanukkah, there aren't many garbagey Jewish ones. None for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur or Passover. Prune Danish for Purim. So yay to Christmas, Valentine's Day, and Easter. But holidays aren't just celebrations in the normal sense of just celebrating, because we take those special gathering times to honor those who we miss, my friends. As we closed out the Passover Easter season, we said the Yitzkor, the public mourning. It's done 4 times a year. It's the time to say a prayer, light a candle, elevate the soul of somebody you love. Bring their spirit love, everybody, every soul, every spirit, every one of us. We all need somebody to love and somebody to have loved us. When the truth is found to be lies, and all the joy within you dies. Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? When you love somebody to love, you better find somebody to love. It's so important to honor the memory of those who came before, those we loved, those who loved us. Someday, one last person will remember you for the last time. And from that day forward, no one will. Now think about that reality and make your mark in this world. Your deeds and your legacy can live on, but it is up to you. And this week, did you remember to light a candle for Holocaust Remembrance Day? It's never too late. Light a candle, help elevate the souls of the 6 million martyrs, and let's all hope and pray that it never happens again to anybody. Let's also light a candle for dear Shirley Webb, Baruch Dayan Ha'amet, grandmother of our dear friend Jesse. He never misses a show or his chance to feel part of our community, like a member going to a clubhouse, sharing and caring with those within. Just like we all feel connected as we gather weekly in our collective consciousness of seekers showing faith, any and all faith, love, any and all love as a community, a chavura, a fellowship, expressing our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes. It unites us all in this community house of spirit to Beth Ruach, sharing, bringing light, keeping fear at bay. So once again, please do go ahead. Invite everybody, physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, however you can, so that we can all gather and share. From Psalm 133, the Hine Matov, come together. Hine Matov. Shevet Achim Gam Hine Matov U'Menai Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community, 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 together. Let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the entire world. Remember, friends, this is your setting aside just a little bit of sacred time in your sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in. We all believe in something. It's part of your kavanah, your intention that you put out to the universe. It is your goodwill. Let's take some time now. Send some of that goodwill, some light and some healing out to whoever you know that needs it. Healing and renewal for everybody. Float through space finding those in need. So send it out. For those you know and for the souls and spirits of everybody you love. Think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people. It's for our pets. It is for the earth. It is the healing of the world, the tikkun olam that's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. Let's send thoughts and energy for health and renewal and goodwill for everybody. They don't have to be sick. It's for those in our hearts and our minds. For Mary and Ivan, for Dieter and Frank, for Kay, for Anne, for Elmo, for Snoopy, for the bee. Friends, it is the kindness, the healing wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out. It just circles the world finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care. Because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never dies. Shabbat. Avotenu. Okor ha-bracha. Limotenu. May the source of strength bless the one that's before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Mishaberach, let us all have our spirits renewed. This is the great prayer for healing, in which we call upon God to heal as he has healed before. Mishaberach, may he be blessed, because all healing's a blessing. Let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Well, you know what, friends? We're halfway through the Torah. Congratulate yourself for making it this far. For some, it's perhaps your first time with the Bible. For others, well, maybe you're 3,000 and something. I bet without studying, you have all learned something new each and every week. Maybe you even saw how these words from thousands of years ago can still resonate within your soul today. I remember last week I told you that before there was any liturgy, any prayer service, any formal observation from a religious perspective, any religion at all for that matter, there was a simple and easy daily routine, and it only had two pieces. The recitation of what became known as the Shema, the daily said ode to monotheism. There's only one God. Isn't that all it really says? Remember, Israel's not a place. It's anyone who has struggled with God. And so that little 6-word entreaty simply says, listen, any of you who have struggled with belief, with faith, God is God. Whatever name you choose, Lord, God, Creator, Great Spirit, whatever name you like, is it alone, the source of all emanation. It is a powerful statement of supreme power. That simple acknowledgement was stated every day, along with the 10 things, the 10 words, the 10 declarations, Asheret HaDavarim, delivered before there was religious practice. No other gods, no images or likeness of God, no making an oath on God's name. Remember to cease, to stop, honor your roots. Do not murder, do not commit adultery, do not steal, do not be a false witness, do not covet. What in that list would you not be willing to do? What in that list would you not expect others to not do? Isn't that a pretty good package of behavior? If I weren't trained in services and I just tried to live life like that, I would be a pretty decent person. But is there anything missing? Well, you know what? Perhaps. Now, sometimes I wished I'd have whispered in God's ear, put in, forgive and be merciful. 2 things that can instantly change your life. You know what? But adding an 11th kind of changed the dynamic. I guess 10 was the number, because you can count them on your hands with the digits you have. Now, when we last left off, before the holiday, we were at a watershed moment. Leviticus has only 2 narrative accounts in the entire book. The first is the story of the consecration of Aaron and his sons to the priesthood of Israel, where we are now. It's a lengthy and detailed account. Most of the ceremonies that it describes have already been presented as commands that God gives to Moses. Now the fulfillment of these commands is narrated. The details of the rituals are impressive. Picturing Moses placing the priestly garments one by one on Aaron, and picturing him anointing first the tabernacle and its contents, then the altar, then Aaron. Next he has Aaron's sons clothed. Then the inaugural sacrifice of the priesthood are described with details of Moses' slaughtering of a bull and 2 rams and his dabbing of their blood on the altar and on the right ears, thumbs, and big toes of Aaron and his sons. We are there. We have observed all of the ritual to this point in time. We are witnesses to the first ordination ceremony, the creation of what many say turned into a praetorian god, a force of history. It's now the 8th day. The ritual is complete as we reach Shemini 8. We finish our observation of the fruition and creation of the priesthood and the new role it will undertake, these riders on the storm. Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm. Into this house we're born. To this world we're thrown. Like a dog without a bone, an actor out on loan, riders on the storm. The priesthood. Moses has performed his last sacrifice in getting the tabernacle and the priests ready, and now torches being passed. This is the illusion of a separation of church and state. Moses did it all, but now all sacrifice from this moment on will be in the realm of the priesthood. They will guard and guide the rituals of national existence. They will be the shaman who cares for the soul, the body, and the essence and health of the tribe. The church is forever to be the domain of one family alone, the brother of the head of state. And as the torch is passed, Aaron's instructed to offer up sin, burnt, peace offerings. And there's some duplication in animal. So it's not as easy as you think to know when to sacrifice what. I forget, and I'm trained in it. We then go through the incredible details of the sacrifices and offerings. And then when it's finished, Leviticus 9:23, and Moses and Aaron came to the tent of meeting. They went out and they blessed the people. And the Lord's glory appeared to all the people, and fire came out from in front of the Lord and consumed the burnt offerings and the fats on the altar. And all the people saw, and they shouted, they fell on their faces. The sacrifice that inaugurates Israel's priesthood is ignited by a miraculous fire that comes from God, not humans. It is truly supernatural. This is the first of several stories in which miracles occur to confirm that Aaron and his descendants are the only true priests. The priesthood has been initiated in a show of magic. And then, Leviticus 10:1. And Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abihu, each took his fire holder, and they put fire in them and set incense on it. They brought forward unfitting fire, which he had not commanded them in front of the Lord. Okay, they bring fire that is zara, a word we can't really translate in the sentence, because we don't know what it really means here. But from the context, we consider it to be foreign or unfitting fire. And sometimes you'll actually see it translated as alien. And only because where it is used elsewhere in the Bible, it denotes a person or thing that is outside a particular group. So sometimes we find other uses of a word, and we imply that this is what its meaning is. Consequences are really quite dramatic. Leviticus 10:2. And fire came out from in front of the Lord and consumed them, and they died in front of the Lord. No one knew what this group was going to be, was going to turn into. There were more questions than answers, but no one knew the questions. And instead of coming out with a bang, they came out in magical fire and what had to be one of the more shocking acts of God, the taking of the lives of the priests like a sacrifice. The same miraculous fire of God that consumed the first priestly sacrifice, using the exact same words, does the exact same thing and consumes Nadab and Abihu, the two sons of Aaron, two of the first four priests. Now this ends story time in this book, and we return now to a list of laws, which is what Leviticus is really all about. And we receive the first of the complex kashrut laws, the laws of food, and what is and is not allowed. Leviticus 11:2. Speak to the children of Israel, saying, this is the animal that you shall eat out of all the domestic animals that are on the earth. Now notice that the list is what's going to be given now. And it's simply a list. You can eat this. You cannot eat this. We're not told why. And isn't that the real question we always face? Why? And perhaps it's not asked enough, and perhaps we don't ask it enough. She asks me why I'm a hairy guy. I'm hairy noon and night. My hair is a fright. I'm hairy, high and low. Don't ask me why. Don't know. The deepest of the 5 W's. Who, what, when, where, why. Why? The laws we are given of permitted and forbidden animals add further restrictions to the sacrificial laws, as God requires not only ritual slaughter, priestly performance, and location at tent of meeting, but God delineates to Moses and Aaron which animals may be eaten as well. But we are never once told why. Notice also the distinction, permitted and forbidden. It will be said time and again, with slight modification but similar meaning, pure and impure, clean and unclean. It echoes back to creation, everything from separation and division. I'm not going to go through the list. It's confusing still to this day, and many of the translations of animals, birds, and fish are purely guesses. And people often ask the whats, but not the whys. Notice its ending, Leviticus 11:46. This is the instruction, and the word for instruction is Torah, so that's what Torah means, this is instruction. This is the instruction for animals and bird and every living being that moves in the water, and for every being that swarms on the earth, to distinguish, la'abdil. That's the most important verb and concept of Leviticus. It means to divide. Between the impure and pure, between the living thing that is eaten and the living thing that shall not be eaten. Friends, the larger purpose of coming to an understanding of the entire book of Leviticus is to note the fact of distinction and how seriously and pervasively it's developed here in regards to a basic function of life, eating. Now, how much has this idea of division, distinction, segregation contributed to our ongoing view of life, and how difficult it can be to not distinguish when everything has been based on distinction? How much does this foster our view of opposites, the world we live in, clean, unclean, permitted, forbidden, right, wrong, black, white? Yes, my friends, the world's sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone. And end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other, we share this ride together, men and women equally. So let's send out love, not fear. Let's send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do. Learn to forgive and learn to love. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. I want you to all have a fantastic week, a week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe, because we set in motion all that happens in our lives. Our intention, our kavanah, our cause, our effect, everything's linked. Now, as I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad, so acknowledge what you have done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged, and ask for forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, accountability, and vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you. You should learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land. Keep on dreaming. Keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear, follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith, an unwavering adherence to principle. Just as I have faith in the principle of love and of all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year. May you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. Work to be present in the body. Expand your heart and quiet your mind, because the deepest source of your real power lies here in your consciousness. Your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. Make the most of your time in this life. Continue to touch and transform the lives around you. You are never alone, my friends. You are forever blessed. And you have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet, health, love, renewal to everybody you come across. Because we're all energy, and energy can never be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Your words are your power to transform to love, to bless, so be generous and bless others and bless yourself. Love with the heart, because we're all part of the greater whole. Embrace love, not fear. Forgiveness, not anger. And be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. And continue to explore faith and what it means to you. Never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you've experienced others have do, we share together. We learn together and we help each other, because we're each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support we all have or could have. Special someone in our lives, so find them. Tell them what they mean. Remember that you're never alone on your journey to your promised land. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive, and keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. Don't just take because as an answer. You always have the right to know and to ask why. Why don't we do it in the road? 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 No one will be watching us. Why don't we do it in the road? Well, why don't we? Thank you for joining me, my friends. Keep sharing the light. Practice forgiveness. Be thankful, be gracious, be kind, be loving. Believe in yourself and spread a little goodwill to the world, and continue to be the miracle in somebody's life. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care.